don't even know if I actually shared this story over here on this channel. Even if I have, I know it was a long time ago. So today I wanted to share with you my debt-free journey story. So let's get right into it. If you are new here, my name is Nikki, and on July 14th, my mom was rushed to the hospital where she had a stroke and a pulmonary embolism where she later was pronounced deceased. She didn't have any life insurance or any savings, and neither did I, my sister, or my dad. So we were left with the option of basically asking friends and family for money so that we can give my mom a proper funeral arrangement. But that's when I realized that I needed to get my life together because I have 2 kids of my own. So later on that year, I would say around November or December, I actually pulled my credit report just to take a look at my own personal finances. And when I pulled my credit report, it was like my heart had just jumped out of my chest, because seeing this large amount of money that I owed was basically more than I was making on my job in a year's worth of salary. And I did not know how I was going to pay off all of this stuff, not making that much money. So starting off, I would say that I was in over $60,000 worth of debt, and I was only making about $50,000 a year. So you can just imagine how nervous, shocked, and just scared I was with this amount of debt, because money wasn't really talked about in my family. I just knew that my mom and my dad would go to work. I didn't ask them if they had savings. I didn't say, do you have life insurance or anything like that. I was just being a child or a young adult, and I was just minding my business. As I became an adult and going through this situation, it was like, I got to get some of this debt paid down, because if anything was to happen to me, I don't want my kids to go through the same thing that I had went through. So basically, I started searching online for different ways that I could pay off debt, and I came across a guy called Dave Ramsey. If you know anything about Dave Ramsey, he talks about his baby steps, which are the 7 baby steps, and that's pretty much the blueprint that I use with my debt-free journey. Now, this particular step actually took me the longest to achieve. I think it took me about 3 months to save $1,000 in my savings account, but once I did save the $1,000, it felt really good to know that I had some money saved. So I continue on with his baby step. So baby step number 2 was to start paying off the debt, and to use the debt snowball method, meaning that I take the smallest debt and focus on that while also making the minimum payments on all other debt. And once I get that small debt paid off, I use that amount that I was paying on that card, and I put it towards the next smallest debt, and I just keep on doing it until all of the debts is paid off. That's exactly what I was doing. I was paying off my credit cards, student loans, car payments, and things like that I had on my credit report, because I had a lot of things on my credit report. So I was doing the debt snowball method, and now we're in 2020 and we were going into a pandemic. And I think around about February or March, that's when everything kind of shut down. I didn't know what was going to happen with my job. I didn't know if I was going to be still working, or if I was going to get laid off, get furloughed, or anything like that. So I kind of fell off of the Dave Ramsey plan, and I stopped paying off debt, and I started saving up money, because $1,000 in my savings account wasn't even enough to cover my rent. My rent at that time was $1,095. So I would have been short if I lost my job and I needed to pay rent to cover next month. I would be short. So basically, I just started stacking up money, and then I realized that maybe I should work this plan a little bit differently. So I basically came up with my own plan. And my plan was, being that I'm still new to this, so I was just thinking okay, well, what if I could at least have 2 to 3 months of bills and expenses in my account, so that way if something did happen with my job, I would at least be able to cover my bills and expenses for 2 to 3 months while I still look for something else. So that's exactly what I did. I was stacking up so much money while still paying off debt at the same time. So what I would do was I would put a certain amount of money in my checking account for my bills and expenses, and then whatever I would have left, I would separate it into two different categories, one for saving and one for extra debt payment. And that's basically what I started working, and then I felt like that was actually working for me, and I just continue on with that plan. And as time went along, as stuff started getting paid off, I kind of like just did something a little bit different from that point on. But starting off with the Dave Ramsey plan, it was like my blueprint. I'm really happy that I came across Dave Ramsey and I was able to use his baby steps, or start off with using his baby steps and actually just growing into my own plan, because personal finance is personal to the individual. Everything is not going to work a certain type of way for every single person. And I'm a mom. Like $1,000 just left in my savings account, it just wouldn't, I didn't feel comfortable with that amount. So I did save the 2 to 3 months of bill and expenses, and I started focusing on the debt that gave me the biggest headache. Besides my rent payment, my next largest payment was my car payment. So I wanted to get rid of that car payment so bad. So I was like, you know what, let me stop tackling the debt by the debt snowball method, and let me go with the headache method. Because if I don't have this $366 car payment, I can use that money that could take care of one credit card, because I had a $300 credit limit on one of my credit cards, and I could use that money while still having $66 left over from that car payment I could have put in my savings account. So that's exactly what I started doing. I started just focusing directly on just paying off my car. But working my full-time job just wasn't gonna be enough, so I picked up a side hustle. Y'all already know that in 2020 a lot of things shut down. There was nowhere for people to shop, buy clothing and things like that. So I started going through my home. I started going through my kids' closet, my closet, asking friends and family for stuff and things like that. And I started uploading these items to third-party platforms like Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace for the larger items. And I am so happy that I did that, you guys. Once I did that, I was able to pay off my car by the end of that same year. So in 2020, or maybe I think the payment didn't clear up until January of 2021. That's when my car was actually paid off in full. And now I was able to use this $366 and apply that towards any other debt. So the next thing that I was pretty much really focusing on was these payday loans and these personal loans and all of those types of things, because they were costing me the most money. I think I was spending like over $500 just in loan payments. So I started focusing on the payday loans, personal loans, and things like that, and I actually got them paid off by the springtime. Once I got the payday loans and stuff like that taken care of, I moved on to the credit cards. Now, looking back at this situation, I really wish I probably would have focused on the credit cards first, being that is what actually helps your credit score once you start paying them down. Because if I'm being honest, once I paid off my car, my credit score actually went down, because they're like, okay, this account is closed, it's no longer reporting, so I'm not getting that good reporting on my credit report anymore. So my credit score dropped. And then once I paid off those personal loans, closing those accounts early than what it was initially supposed to close, that hurt my credit as well. But I didn't care at the time. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't care about the credit score. I just wanted to get rid of the monthly payments. So that's exactly what I did. So now I'm left with just only my credit cards. And I actually paid those off, I would say maybe around the fall time, or maybe it was like the end of the summer. I can't really remember, but I do remember that everything was actually paid off in 2021. And once I got out of debt, because I had over $60,000 worth of debt, you guys. So all of 2020, I was just paying off debt. The half of 2021, I was paying off debt. I really wasn't buying myself anything. I wasn't spending really no money on myself. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't doing all of those things, because my only focus was getting out of debt. So once I did pay off all of my credit cards, my personal loan, my payday loans and credit cards and things like that, that's when I started basically applying a budget for the things that I wanted to do, like buy sneakers. I love sneakers. If you do not know, I absolutely love sneakers, and I started implementing a budget for my sneakers every single time that I was paid. That's really my debt-free journey story. I'm currently still in debt. I have my student loans, and I'm back in credit card debt because what I've realized once I paid off my credit cards and just leaving them there, it wasn't really helping my credit score. And then once I had paid off my credit cards and I started focusing on the student loans, once I paid off one of my student loans, the credit score dropped again, and I didn't want my score to go down anymore. I was like, okay, I'm paying off things and I'm doing the right thing, but my credit score is dropping in return. So after that one student loan that I paid off, I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to put paying off my student loans on hold, because eventually I do want to purchase a home. I want to become a homeowner and all those type of things. So I definitely need that credit score to go up, because around that time my credit score was like mid 600, like 656, 676, somewhere around there. It was nowhere near where I wanted to be. I really wanted to be in the 700s, and it wasn't gonna go up unless I either use the credit cards or get a loan or something like that, and I didn't want to apply for new credit. So basically I started back using my credit cards, and I've been learning more and more about credit. So now I'm just on a journey of getting these credit card balances back down. I'm going back to the snowball method while paying off these credit cards. So that's basically all that I have right now. Currently my student loans are in deferment because of everything that has went on. They have put a pause on paying them off, and I think I'm just not gonna focus on them right now, because like I said before, they are really helping my credit more than it is hurting it. And I'm only gonna start back repaying my student loans when they start back, accepting payments, and if I can get a house. So my goal right now is to get the credit cards paid down so I could get a higher score, and once I get my home, then I will start attacking the student loans, because now I have everything that I need. I don't pretty much care about if the credit score goes down at that point and stuff like that. I want y'all to know that this is a safe place where we could talk and share all things money. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. Just really wanted to go ahead and share this story with you guys for those that do not know what exactly happened or why I started budgeting. If you're gonna start your debt-free journey, let me know that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.